Disney shares are set to close at a record high after the company revealed its streaming platform. This is an artist's impression of Disney shareholders right now and how they are celebrating. And all because of Disney Plus. The cost of Disney Plus. It will have more than 500 movies and 7,500 TV episodes when it launches in the US this November, including the upcoming Star Wars TV series, The Simpsons, and recent blockbusters like Captain Marvel. But this is the reason. It'll cost $6.99. $6.99 a month. Now, that's $2 less than Netflix Basic. It's cheaper. The Hulu is cheaper at $5.99, but it doesn't have as much. And YouTube TV is by far, of course, the most expensive at $49.99. But you see, that's where Walt Disney places it. Brian Stelter is following the story. Brian, is the price the reason why, in your view, the stock has risen so sharply, up 10% on the day?
You know, there were audible gasps in the room when the price was announced at Disney's Investor Day. This was a happy surprise to many of the observers of this ongoing Disney story. And I think that's a big part of the reason why the stock has jumped today. It's actually nearing its high for the day, almost up more than 11% at this point, edging closer to 12%. So it's been doing well all day. Investors have been waiting for this for more than a year, Richard. They've wanted to know what is Disney's battle plan in this streaming war. Frankly, they've been waiting a very long time to hear it. There have been a lot of curiosity, but now we know it's going to launch in November in North America. Right. 2 years from now, it'll be around the world.
Brian, you cover this stuff morning, noon, and night. Is Disney on the right track here? It has a huge library, but it doesn't have ongoing content in the same way. It's putting $1 billion into, you were telling me on Express, it's putting $1 billion into content. Netflix is spending $8 billion, 9, 10, 11, 12 billion. Admittedly, a lot of that is not particularly very good. So, you know, I mean, you know, how many of the Netflix things do you actually watch?
Maybe 3 of them. Yeah, I have to admit, I do not gorge at the Netflix buffet. I only have a few. But they keep me paying every month, and that's the goal. I think if anybody can get me to also pay another $7 a month, it's going to be Disney. Disney has a lot of competitive advantages here, from the theme parks to the cruise ships to the cable networks. They have a lot of ways to promote this new service. They'll be able to start you at $7 a month and then obviously raise the price over time. They'll bundle Hulu in with it together and make it bigger in that way. So Disney has a lot of levers it can pull. They have a lot of opportunities here. I think the only concern I really hear among Wall Street analysts is that Netflix is so far ahead. And that's going to create a challenge for Disney, for Warner Media, our parent company, for Comcast, for all the rest. Every media company wants to look more like Netflix, but it's going to be a challenge for all of them.
Right. Well, as we continue, I am using the Stelter Index.
What's that? In
future. Well, you said earlier on Express how many services you expect to buy over the last few. So as we cover this in the days, weeks, and months and years ahead, the Stelter Index will never be far from my reading in terms of just how it is. But seriously, so there's going to be tears before bedtime with one of them.
Yes. I mean, I agree with you. In the same way that the cable model is under intense pressure, and we're seeing some of the smaller cable providers, you know, people that operate smaller cable channels start to really struggle. We will see that in streaming as well. There will be smaller niche streaming services that will not succeed. In fact, some of them have already closed up shop in the past year. That's because these behemoths like Disney have a lot of power. Look at what Disney is doing. They bought Rupert Murdoch's assets at Fox. They're taking The Simpsons, for example, from Fox. They're putting it in Disney Plus. That is a lot of power that Disney has behind this new streaming service. And look, Bob Iger, he's betting the whole house on this plan. He says this is a transformational moment for Disney. It's going to be exciting to see how well it does or doesn't do in the first few years.
Brian, thank you. Brian Stelter in New York. We thank you.